Hello, ladies, men, and monsters, and welcome to Zero Gravity Gaming. My name is Cowboy Casts, and today I am joined by.
Arlen, what's up, cowboy? How's it going? It's great to be on air with you finally. It's been a
It
minute.
is, dude. We've been hanging out for a while, but I've never been able to go live with you. It's happening, bro. It's going
It's
on, and we got quite some matches tonight. We got Going
mhm.
Ghost versus G&E Aquamarine. How do we feel about that?
I feel like it's going to be interesting because there's already a little bit of history between the two teams. Each time that they've played before, it has been Going Ghost who's come out on top, but G&E Aquamarine, they've been able to take individual games within series away from these players, and you know even if we see a repeat of that happening tonight, that at least promises us a three-game banger. Or we might see, a team step it up for playoffs, and we just see a two-piece for either team. So with that being said, we're gonna hop right into a very quick draft phase, ban and draft phase. Getting rid of Victor, Scion, Ornn, returning that with Akali, Urgot, and Poppy, and first picking Vi. Vi is a really interesting first pick here.
I agree. Vi, not a first pick you see often, and following it up with the Caitlyn is a little bit funny, I think. Caitlyn Morgana,
Mhm.
really good bot lane. You just have so much pick potential and just damage, period, with that lane. But I gotta, you gotta respect the Akali ban when the enemy mid laner is named Ban Akali.
Yeah,
Just saying,
absolutely. I have a player who also is an Akali one trick. We
Oh
often
God.
see the
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
we
so
often
sorry.
see the Akali man come out against us. It's a rough life, but we've learned to tech around it
This
by
is.
picking up Syndra, so it's pretty much the same
Oh,
thing.
I'm. Oh.
But yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, a little bit to your point about interesting that you would pick the Vi first with Morgana, a champion that pretty hard counters the Vi here. It is still up, right? And Caitlyn Vi, such a super strong, dominating bot lane in the right hands. If they're just better players on paper and in practice, they will win bot lane no matter what you pick them on. So might as well pick them on into a bot lane where they're just going to be well ahead of the curve by getting a lot of plates, a lot of damage off, and potentially solo kills. But I do like the Jhin Karma and response. They have equal range, roughly, and more importantly, the Karma can actually break the Morgana shield very easily and make it so the Caitlyn isn't as safe in lane as you would normally think she would be. So Xin Zhao getting last picked here into the Vi. That one's more of a 50-50 kind of matchup. It really just depends on who's able to get the first successful gank off.
Yeah, for sure. Xin Zhao is a champion that really likes to be super aggressive early on, and he has
Mhm.
really good dueling potential. I'm not too sure how that would fare against a Vi. Vi, also a champion who has good dueling potential, although I think Xin Zhao takes it within the first few levels.
Yeah, absolutely. Xin Zhao is just super excels at that early dueling, and Vi really needs a level 6 power spike before she can actually take it to the, and actually match him in that power. Of course, though, if she's able to get the jump on him, she probably wins that fight before, um, items come in. But once he's able, if it's an equal fight where he knows it's coming and he can prepare for it, he probably wins it like 9 times out of 10,
For sure.
as long as, he doesn't miss his single ability that he can miss. um,
The one ability Xin Zhao can
the
miss.
single ability he misses, which is also the one he maxes. But we get into the ban phase. They're taking away Vladimir. They're starting to focus on this mid lane champ pool, taking away the Vladimir, the Veigar, whereas the enemy is taking away a little bit, towards the mid lane with the Diana, but also towards the top lane with the Garen. What does Genie Aquamarine pick up? They probably pick up something that allows them to secure mid priority, right? Because you really want that for Xin Zhao. You really want to be there for his early skirmishes, and Orianna is one of the main go-getters. Whenever Victor's banned, you generally see Orianna or Syndra come out, and that just makes 100% sense to me.
Going Ghost banning a lot of mid laners this game. You see the Victor banned, you see the Vladimir taken out, and the Veigar, but it doesn't matter because you just keep picking up these AP mages, and Orianna is going to make these Xin Zhao ganks incredibly easy. Although we're going to have to see the laner.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what do they pick up here? I think they just pick counter the mid lane as best as possible. Yep, there you go. You have to blind pick top here. What do we blind pick top? Honestly, the safest bet is a tank. Gnar is a decent blind pick top. I know LS hates that one, but Gnar is still a decent blind pick top. Please don't pick Renekton. That's actually a horrible blind pick top. Jace isn't too bad, but you always have to watch out for the Aurelia if you go for the Gnar, if you go for the Jace. But I like the
Gragas.
Gragas as well. I really do like that. It kind of negates any bruisers, so it really forces them to either pick a Gnar or pick someone who can take the fight to him later. Um, GP is a decent answer into it, but it really kind of just limits your options. Malphite's not too bad overall.
Malphite. I think the Malphite passive isn't going to come in super nuts, seeing as Going Ghost only has two AD threats, and the Vex and Gragas are just going to absolutely like shred him in a sorts. Although the max HP, which I assume he's going to be building, is going to counter that of sorts. There's my bird flying past my head, trying to steal the show over there, eh? Yeah, there he is.
Let's go. Yeah, the Malphite passive isn't going to come into effect, but where it does come into effect, the champions that it does affect, aka the Jhin, the Vi, it's really going to hit them hard, right? It really nukes Jin's damage potential overall when he's dealing with a diving Malphite, right? Because instantaneously, his Gale Force becomes a tool to dodge Malphite ultimate, right? And then his Flash has to be used for Morgana or Orianna ult. And then he has no other movement abilities or no other ways to get out of Xin Zhao. So this Karma really needs to be sticking on top of him, but if he's too close, Malphite hits a double knockup, and that's all she wrote, right? So this one's a really tricky game for the Jhin to play out. The Vex, I'm not sure how I feel about that. They have a really strong dive core with the Vex, Gragas, Vi. They have safety and follow-up with the Jhin and Karma, but at the same time, G&E also has a really strong dive core with a, also really decent, strong long range options. So both teams kind of drafting the same thing, relatively speaking. It just comes in different places, that power spike. And that's kind of a power spike we need to be watching. It comes early in the top side. In the mid lane, you have to wait for first items, but in the top side, just level 6s and they go for it. And that's the kind of dichotomy we're looking at here.
Yeah, I really feel like this game is going to come down to how the junglers and the mid laners play together. Bot lane is more so going to be the ADCs both farming while the supports kind of like go at it, like trying to beat each other up.
Absolutely.
Caitlyn definitely has a lot more poke
Mm-hmm.
in this sense, although Jhin and Karma obviously can't be underestimated, right? Like they still do their stuff. Like you said, they do the same thing, but in different ways in a sword.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jhin, his poke is really like his poke is more contingent on his karma, whereas the Caitlyn is just has longer range, right? She just has longer range. She can just auto attack. She just waits to get the headshot and then she can go for it. The Jhin is a lot more contingent on letting his karma go doing most of the work. Then he just walks up, 4 shots, W's, grenade bounce, gets it, right? His is a lot more passive. It's just kind of there until he needs it. Caitlyn is just a lot more in your face, actively auto attacking you, and that's kind of one thing we're going to be looking at. And then also, I want to focus on this jungle matchup. I want to focus on what their pathing is, because if Xin Zhao knows where Vice starts, he can path for that early fight, for the early aggressive trades, and use the early priority that his Orianna will have naturally to fight for the bot side, whatever, right? I think they want to be focusing bot side for the side of G&E Marine, and for Going Ghost, they are forced, just due to the nature of the champions, to go top side. They can't fight bot side. It's too difficult. It's too scary. They need to go top side and try to make things happen up there.
Yeah, as much as Vi would want to try to go to this bottom lane, you have the Caitlyn traps that are ready to just mess you up. You have the Morgana Q, the Morgana R, all of that stuff just combined, ready to wait for you and just make it so you can't move, pretty much. There's not a lot of mobility in this bot lane, so Morgana is going to feel really good on holding this Q for either protecting a gank or for trying to go for an engage with the Caitlyn.
Absolutely. But with that, we're going to throw it to a very quick break. Just wait for the spectator to wind down, and then we'll be right into the Going Ghost versus G&E Aquamarine. I almost said G&E Marine. That's the wrong word completely. But yeah, we're going to be into that game. Game 1 between these two teams, and I promise it's going to be a banger, folks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are finally in game one of tonight's best of three. We have Go and Ghost versus G&E Aquamarine.
Absolutely. And so, we're just getting into this. Let's talk about, any potentially interesting things in terms of runes or masteries. Nothing honestly going on that screams to me interesting. It's mostly just looking at the fact that there's no heal in the bot lane. They're going for that, they're going for the exhaust, so they're going to be dropping that more likely on the Xin Zhao for the side of good faith. Banakali going for the ignite in the mid lane, a very aggressive setup. So they're expecting to try to play through mid lane, try to get some kills on the 70s, using ganks from the Vi. So that just that's the only thing that really makes sense with that ignite. Otherwise, they're going to be lacking in terms of overall map movement. Interestingly enough, we don't see grass on the Gragas. Instead, we see a Comet Gragas. Normally, when you see Gragas on the top side, it's it's usually a phase rush. It's usually a grass, right? Like I said. So interestingly enough, to see the Comet, and I wonder how it's going to fare against the Poke Malphite.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Arcane Comet this game. See, what, 4 people? Both of the supports and both of the top laners using it. Both teams really just do not want to commit to all-ins, I suppose. More so looking to just poke out each other during the laning phase and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just trying to a lot of lane dominant runes coming out from the side of everybody. Only one person really has that scaling rune set, I'd say, and it's coming from the Caitlyn. Everyone else is kind of mid to early games in terms of rune set. The Conqueror is a mid to late game rune. The Fleet Footwork's just trying to survive early. That's what I see it. Electrocute, obviously an early game rune, but we see a root down here on the bot side.
See Sam in good faith getting some really good hits out onto Makia. I think that's how you say your name. Sorry if not. The Karma is just really doing work, and there's the Ignite coming on through. First blood for Sam in good faith, but it's going to be traded back by Makia. Meanwhile, in the river, we see Banakali and Platypus going for a little bit of a kerfuffle, but 70s is going to show up with the shield.
Very good job from the both bot lanes, just to be scrapping, and I think it's one of those traits that's a lot more beneficial for the good faith and for Sam. Here's why. They aren't supposed to be doing this well in this lane, right? They're supposed to be kind of doing, relatively poorly in this lane just on paper, but the fact that they're able to be doing so well into, a subpar matchup just is super good for them. So that if they're able to keep going 1-for-1 in these trades where the AD carries are the ones dying and not the supports, and the supports are kind of picking up kills, the Karma is going to be a lot more useful in the long run than the Morgana if the Morgana keeps playing sort of a passive playstyle. Going into the little scrap between Platypus Killer and Banakali, I think honestly they could have won that if Platypus Killer had kept moving forward and used his flash more aggressively, and if 70s was willing to flash that wall there. That's probably a kill onto the Vex there, and really good job from Banakali to kind of recognize that they were in a really bad spot and just kind of drop off the face of the earth there. But the jungle pathing, they're not exactly matching each other. It's kind of more all over the place in both these guys, so they're just going to be honestly avoiding each other for most of the game. I don't really see a point where their pathings cross, really. We see them now on the same side of the map, but it's more coincidental.
Yeah, I think both of these junglers pathing not so much away from each other, but more so in unpredictable ways is really just not going to benefit either of them. Both of these junglers really want to get scrappy, right? They both want to get in there, fight, try to see if something can happen, and then leave, hopefully with an advantage. But again, neither of them really want to do that. How do I say your name? Brinticus? I think that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Sorry if that's not how you say it, big guy. Setting up a lane gank here, charging the Q. You know where Victory Slash is, it's going to hit. The Black Shield's going to prevent the root from Jin. I think that's going to be the encounter, although there's Xin Zhao. Brinticus is very low HP, and Platypus knows what is up. There it is. Flash forward, and the E is going to pick up a kill for you, but Victory Slash and Makia aren't done. The root is going to go through, but everyone's super low HP. The health bars are so small, and Good Faith is going to pick up a kill in return, and Platypus is almost going to fall as well.
Wow, what What a really smart play coming out from the side of Platypus Killer, just to recognize that the lane gang was happening, and he was down there, you know, for his bot side when it happens. That's a really good job coming out from the side of Platypus Killer. I don't. What happened after, a lot less good. You know, it was an unforced error coming out from the side of Victory Slash. That could have been a kill probably on a Sam if he had just placed his trap better, but it was just a little bit in front of Sam. So unless the Karma walked into it, he was always going to get out of it, right? So not the best placement of the Caitlyn trap. You know, there's a little bit more practice on the champion. That would have been another easy cleanup kill, and maybe they just trade, you know, at the end of the day 2-for-1, but a 1-for-1 again isn't bad for the side of Goodface and Sam. If anything, they love it. They love these 2-for-1 scrappy sort of things, as long as no too many kills aren't going onto one person. So good job for them. And now we're just going to be looking at, you know, which team really wants to prioritize these Drakes. I think, again, it should be the side of Victory Slash and Makia prioritizing these Drakes. They really need them to bolster up their late game, and they want to keep Drakes out of the hand of the team that has the worst late game. The team that has the worst late game is going Ghost. They just don't have an equal late game to the rest of the side of G&E Aquamarine, right? It's just not equalized. It's just really in their favor. So if the more Drakes they're able to keep out of their hands, the better it is overall.
For sure. We have the Infernal Drake as the first dragon on the map right now, so that means we're not going to get an Infernal Soul, so those Jin 4th shots aren't going to be, like, just absolutely ultra spicy. Which, a shame, frankly, because seeing somebody get one shot from halfway across mid lane is very funny.
It's pretty fire.
It's probably a bit better for them this game. Gragas is getting very aggressive. The explosive cast coming on out as well. He does not have Ignite in this lane. Neither of the top laners do, but Malphite does not have Teleport up. He's going to try to crash this wave, but here comes Platypus. Business Time going to try to run back into the alcove. Platypus is only level 5, and Business probably has a damage advantage. I was completely wrong about that, actually. Going to flash forward, not going to dodge. The wind becomes lightning.
Yeah, but really good job from Platypus Killer just to be there for his top laner, but not so good job from Business Time. He didn't recognize the jungle tracking. He didn't realize that the Xin Zhao would be topside. He thought he was going to be bot side. He thought he was matching his Vi, even though the course of the game has shown that not to be necessarily true, right? Both junglers kind of erratic with their pathing, so Teleport being used topside just to try to crash the wave to get a better, you know, reset for himself. So, and they're just going to trade the Drake away for the Rift Herald. Not the best trade in the world. I think still you should still be prioritizing the Drakes. So really good job from the side of going Ghost to pick up that, but still a trade nonetheless. A kill picked up plus the Rift Herald, plus potentially even counter jungling here if Platypus Killer feels a little bit spicy walking in to grab that blue buff. This could be a really, really good thing for him, but I don't know if you want to do that now. Strayaka isn't in the area. The Gragas is, and you don't exactly have mid priority. This could be a little bit dangerous for the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, there he is going top lane again. He does have the Chain Spike Whip, which he did have last gank, but I did not point it out. Business Time is kind of locking himself in the alcove, a little bit troll. He does not have the explosive cast, and he does not have flash. That is another easy kill for Platypus Killer. Your Xin Zhao is 3-0. Oh, here comes Printicus. There's the ultimate coming on out, and the Shadows Surge as well. Down in the bot lane, we also have some action going on with the curtain call finally going to be opening. Good Faith is going to get the last shot. The Q is going to be able to pick up the kill. Never mind, Sam is going to steal it. Report your support.
Report the support.
Reported.
Absolutely. That was super well played by the side of Good Faith and Sam, right? They're able to poke down Makia, really focus in the poke on the Morgana, and then just whittle them down, use the ultimate, opened up, blasted him with a 4-shot. Victory Slash used the 50 caliber net the wrong way, and it really hurt them, right? If he'd used it the other way, they probably lived that, you know, it just ends up being a 1-for-0, and which isn't the best thing in the world, but it's better than a 2-for-0, right? And a 0-3 Caitlyn. So really good job by Good Faith, really good job by Sam. They are really just stomping this lane right now. Topside, super good roam from Banacali, super good gank by Brinticus to really pick that up. They realized they had the damage, they had the opportunity to go in there. A little bit trading here.
That body slam definitely did not look like it should have hit, but the explosive cask is coming on out. Business Time really wanted to make something happen, but he does not have the damage yet.
Yeah, but he just doesn't have the damage necessary to make these, you know, explosive casts, you know, these damage numbers work. Maybe once he gets his Everfrost, it's going to be able to find more more plays that actually happen, but Shrek is really feeling the pressure mounting on this Malphite. And one thing I was gonna highlight is Vex got the shutdown. Vex got the 600 gold. Vex used that to buy boots, which is a huge power spike for all mid laners. That all AP mid laners, they're really gonna be able to work off of that power spike and really start rotating the Vex around the map. They're gonna find a lot of pressure off that. But plus Blitz Killer is in the bot side. They're gonna be looking for a lane gank.
Yeah, sorry about that. Platypus is setting up a lane gank, but it seems we have the same thing that happened earlier, but the roles are reversed now. Brinticus is here. He does a flash. There it is. He's gonna flash over the wall. Victory slash. Incredibly low HP, but so is Good Faith. And your Xin Zhao is in there like swimwear. But the curtain call is coming on out. Everybody is so low. Everybody could die to this. Not gonna, he's gonna die to the trap. Platypus barely dodging the Jin W. And there is Karma. He's gonna pick up another kill though. He is, and there he is. He's going back, and he picks up two. Banacoli and Brinticus are here. There's the fear. Is it gonna be enough? There it is. Banacoli is going to be able to pick up the kill, but 70 says not done, not yet. He's gonna keep going in the queue. Gonna do enough damage to possibly scare him off, but Vex wants more. And it looks like the encounter is over, Arland.
Absolutely wild stuff, although you say it's over. They're trading back and forth. They're getting a little bit spicy here, but Banacoli still has flash to keep themselves safe, so nothing else comes of it. But really good stuff from both teams right here. Really good lane gank coming in from the Xin Zhao just to try to find the opportunity. They didn't quite find it, and Jin, Good Faith on the Jin. Ooh.
That's some crazy Orianna damage. He does have the summon Airy to be able to get that extra damage over time. You mentioned that Banacoli had the flash to be able to get out if something was sticky, but I see that he has flash and ignite.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's not get a little bit crazy.
No. Listen, they call me an optimist, Arland. You know that? I'm a little bloodthirsty goblin, and the explosive cask is gonna come out top. But yet again, Business Time just doesn't have the damage to fight Striker.
Yeah, he just doesn't. Like he has enough damage to poke him out, but Striker is a very savvy top laner. He's more than willing to burn the ultimate to get out and not go for these kills, but it's just a little bit back and forth. I think Striker could potentially have lethal as long as Business Time doesn't have his W active. It's just a really scary situation for both top laners here because it's a relatively close matchup between the two of them. It's just about which one is able to more effectively use their poke. But speaking towards the bot lane, Drake has spawned. Second Drake has spawned. They're setting up for the side of Genie Aquamarine. It's looking like they're going to pick up a very easy Ocean Drake.
Yeah, the curtain call is going to open to initiate this fight, and your Vex is on the other side to be able to cut them off. The Shadow Surge going on through. Victory Slash is dead immediately out of the fight, and so is Brinticus by Platypus, and he's going to fall as well. Good Faith and Sam are just going in, and so is your Vex. Oh, she gets one shot, never mind. Business Time to die to the turret in the top lane. Banacoli has bad internet. Makia is going to die to Good Faith. What is happening this game?
Well, now that there's a nice little pause for us to talk about what's happening. So, let's just go back in time a little bit. Let's just go back to that Drake fight. Let's think about that. So already, Genie Aquamarine has the first move. They don't exactly have mid lane priority because it did get shoved in by the Jin, but they do have bot lane priority. They do have all the tools necessary to be there. They start warding. They start up the Drake as it spawns. Right? They are there on time. That's the most important thing, and they started up. The issue is that the side of Going Ghost, they weren't ready for it, right? They weren't ready for this Drake to spawn. They didn't have all the tools necessary. Like you said, they were split up a little bit, and it kind of worked out in their favor because the Vex was able to find a kill, flash out, baited out some ultimates. The rest of the fight wasn't clean, right? The rest of the fight, they just didn't respect the damage coming out from a first item Orianna. They didn't respect the tankiness of a Gore Drinker Xin Zhao. They didn't respect the Morgana being able to do anything, and it kind of hurt them to lose two of those members, but at the end of the day, they're still able to win the fight, and that's the big important thing, especially if they're able to crack open this turret and start advancing the map pressure. The top side hurts a lot less because the man has been winning this matchup the entire time, so the fact that he got solo killed under turret, not a good thing at all.
Not at all, and this is going to be a Hextech Rift, which means that we're going to see the funny gates, and I think my stream or my game has crashed.
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no. You're
there we
fine.
go. All right, I might be a little bit delayed because we heart spectator clients.
We Heart Spectator Client. The Riot Games, very small indie company, definitely not owned by a Chinese conglomerate. Yep. Um,
Whoa, whoa, listen, I was making a joke. That's a little bit political there.
no, 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 no. I'm definitely not. I'm not saying anything. I'm just. They're not. They're
You're right.
not.
You're right.
I'm
No, you're
not
right.
saying
My
anything.
bad.
No, no, nothing's going
Yeah.
on. So moving around the map, just looking at the. Oh, Makia.
All right. So I think Makia fat fingered his stopwatch, in which that's a huge L.
Yeah, because
That's yeah,
that
that
is
sucked.
Zhonya's, so it's not too bad. But they're going to be starting to fight up here.
Massive L. And most of G&E is top lane, and there we go. Brindicus is just getting absolutely vaporized by the entire squad of Aquamarine. Platypus is going to go over the wall to try to pick up the kill on business time. There he goes. Second Herald of the game is going to be picked up by G&E Aquamarine. Where should they drop this, Arlen?
Well, Second Herald's one of those things, you're trading a set amount of time and resources and investment for unknown amount of time, resources, and investment, right? You don't know what you're going to get back by getting second Rift Herald, and that's why it's always a scary objective to go for. They got a kill, they got, 2 kills out of it, but, it's like, what are they going to, that's what they got going in, and that's just kind of luck of the draw. What do they really get out of going for the Rift Herald? I want to see them use it and grab multiple turrets bot. That's where I really want it to be used. And just the Jhin ultimate, just try to dissuade it, doesn't really do too much. But that's why, like I said, I want to see it use either top or bot, find multiple turrets, and then they can start really pressuring those sides of the map, and then they can go opposite side of the map, grab those turrets up, and then go back down mid and really start advancing the map state. It's all about map state here, and it's all about map movement coming from both of these teams that are relatively like they need the macro gameplay to be on point for both teams.
Yeah, you can see bot lane, Victory Slash and Banakali are just kind of chilling. I apologize if you can hear my bird. He is screaming. What? Okay, whatever. Both of them are going to be in the bottom lane, just farming. Although Victory Slash has the item advantage, and you cannot... What's the word I'm looking for? Underestimate a 20% crit Caitlyn. Even if she's 0-5.
Yeah, she only needs 4 crits in a row, and then all of a sudden she's 5-5 with a pentakill.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
She just needs a few
Get it,
headshots.
bro.
Yeah, Caitlyn's definitely not out of this game. Even though their items are suggesting otherwise, AD carries still are out of the game until it's 30 minutes in and everybody has full build except them. As long as she's able to keep collecting farm, this Caitlyn's still going to be a threat, still going to be useful in these fights. They just need to find fights that are advantageous for this Caitlyn. But first turret does go over to the Vex here. And that's side lane pressure that they just achieved, but that's also a safe lane they created for the enemy. That's something Victory Flash can definitely use to really bolster up those CS numbers or the Orianna. It really doesn't matter. 70s though.
Yep, and there it is. Shadow Surge in the bottom lane. Who's going to have more damage? Which mage? And it's going to be 70s. The one with the item advantage. Vex just really is starved, per se. Just now picking up her mythic item, being the Luden's Tempest.
Yeah, it's what happens when you get boots first and then you don't effectively use the boots, right? But it will be a tower dive top.
Yeah, they're just kind of relying on Strika being able to push this wave faster. Business time. Yeah, he knows what's up. You see the Morgana, you know you're screwed. That unstoppable force from the Malphite, not necessarily needed. But respect the enthusiasm, Marlon.
Yeah, absolutely. But look at what they're giving up on the bot side, right? They're giving up this Hextech Drake, right? Like, they got the kill. Do they get the tower off though? I want to see them push the wave. I want to see them get the tower. They know that they can't contest it. It's already too late. They don't have the vision. They don't have the members down there. They don't have the... They're strong enough to maybe brute force. They do have a 2 items and out. But what about the rest of the team? You have a 0-5 Caitlyn, and they eviscerate this dragon. It's just not a feasible plan. They should have been top side. They should have been taking this turret. Good play, but it could have been a spectacular play. And that's what that's what you're looking for when you play League of Legends. You're not just looking for good plays or one-for-ones or worth, quote-unquote, worth plays, right? We're looking for the best plays possible. For, every single play has to be perfect, and that's what we're looking for. Sam,
I mean,
resting in the mid lane.
That might be what you're looking for, but down in the depths of Pisslow, where I belong, the goal isn't to win; it's to simply suck less than the enemy.
Oh man, that's specifically suck less. That was actually pretty good.
See, you can't say I'm wrong either, and that's why it's funny.
You're not. That's the issue. I'm crying. Dude, that honestly, Heike, taking it away from this game a little bit. That's just the goal of North
Oh.
America in general.
Yeah, true. Business
Suck
time,
less than other
using the
countries.
explosive cask again. He is just like dropping it left and right with no real intention, it feels.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things. Maybe if he had, I don't remember if he exactly had the explosive as for the dive. Maybe if he did have it, he could turn it, you know, at least get a kill or potentially, you know, dissuade it entirely. But really just likes to, like you said, likes to drop it willy-nilly, it seems like, especially when there's no real chance of him getting a kill or, you know, effectively stopping
now-
Mafia from killing him.
And now look at this. There's the flash forward from Striker, going to be using the unstoppable force. The rest of the squad is here. The Gale Force forward. But you're not going to be able to do anything to business time. He just flashes all over the place.
Uh-oh, and look at Makia.
Yeah, Makia is in a little bit of trouble here. Overextended a little bit too much. Striker does not have the super powerful Malphite ult to keep himself or his team alive. Vertigus dashes over the wall. The Gale Force forward, doing a lot of damage to Makia. Platypus all by himself now. He doesn't have the Gore Drinker up, and that is going to be 2 kills for nothing.
3 kills for nothing, man. Everybody died.
yeah,
They might get
sorry.
Baron. They might get Baron. They're gonna
they
get
just
Baron off
start
that.
Baron. Okay,
Oh,
I like it.
no. It's a good. Genie had, you know, they've been having like the game, you know, macro wise, they've had it by a stranglehold. They've been doing pretty much everything right. They've been able to aggress the lane states, progress the game. But when it comes down to these micro plays, they are just too aggressive. The top side flash from Strikia.
Good guy. Oh, you know, try it.
It's 11 HP though, not low. They didn't want to use Spike from Vertigus for some reason. But like Strikia flash ulting and then missing business time on the Malphite, super rough. But you know, you can still use that to get the turret if they had gone for it. But Makia was too far over aggressed into the enemy jungle, and they just collapsed on them. Strikia trying to drop to help them. That was you should just let your support die and back off, and then maybe you can still contest this Baron if it does happen to come out. But 3 members dying, especially your jungler, your fed jungler who's being your carry for this game, it's just really not good, and I really want to see them kind of like shape up a little bit more as we go into this game. 3,000 gold difference, or rather 2,000 gold, well, or almost 3,000 gold difference between the two teams, and it's definitely on the side of going Ghost. How do they start pushing the map state? How do they start aggressing lanes? I want to see them go top, focus down this turret, focus down Strikia, or maybe go bot, take down this tier 2, go mid, take down that tier 2, just a nice little train car all the way to top.
Yeah, you mentioned that Platypus is the carry, but honestly, I'd say 70 has this more on his shoulders than anybody. Whoa! The Gale Force just auto attack on a victory slash. Look at his HP. What? What?
Goodbye.
That was a lot of damage, Arlen.
Goodbye. That is a 2-item Jin with halfway completed, honestly not even halfway, just almost completed LDR, has fully completed Gorgering Collector, against a 0-6 Caitlyn. Not really sure what to expect, but that's well within the realm of expectation.
I wasn't expecting like the one shot. I probably should have, thinking back to it.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is sometimes.
You
It
live
do
and
be
learn.
what it do be.
Unless you die, like
Unless
Victory
you
Slash.
die.
Yeah, but I guess you can respawn and learn. But 30 seconds up to this Drake, it is completely on the side of going Ghost. However, they haven't really advanced map state. They got the kill, right? They did kill Victory Slash again, but this Caitlyn's already, you know, down bad. They're not, you know, there's a certain level where it's not worth to kill this Caitlyn anymore, and they only got 1 turn off of it.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
That
I
is
guess they get
unfortunate.
Makia. Never mind.
Makia pressed forward, trying to get some vision, but just gets picked out. I guess on the bright side, you get the Shadow Surge taken out, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have anybody to follow up your Orianna. She's going to get rooted. And this is just a free dragon, free soul point for going Ghost.
Yeah, and they're just doing everything by the book. They're doing everything textbook, not clean textbook, but they're doing it by the book. They're making sure that they're, you know, they have in priority. They're making sure that they are in the enemy jungle, that they're denying vision, that they're just doing everything correctly. Now I want to see them use the Baron buff that they have left. It's not long for this world, this Baron buff. It disappears right now, but they still have pressure. They still have priority that they can get. They can get this tier 2 in the bot lane. They can get this tier 2 in the mid lane, but it's looking like it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, Platypus is going to use the Wind Becomes Lightning. The nice explosive cast is going to hit every single member of the team. Not necessarily away, but not towards. It was a disruption at its best.
Yeah, and disruption is what they need there. They realize they can't fight too many members of the enemy team. They maybe could have fought. They do have the item advantage, but why risk it, right? You don't necessarily need to. Why risk it, right? So
Sure.
smart play by them. Backs off. Hopefully you get some resets come out from everybody, so everyone can spin their gold. What are we sitting on? Yeah, about 1,000 gold for the Gragas, about 1,000 gold for the Vi, 600 for the Jhin. Not too much that he can buy at this point. Probably just gets a crit cloak and start building for that IE, but instead, both teams for some reason are focusing topside.
So something that I find curious is Jhin decided to go for the LDR third item instead of the IE, which is usually what you build, no? You just want to try to rush to that Infinity Edge spike as fast as you can because that's what Jhin loves.
Yeah, absolutely. He loves the IE. The issue is where he went with his build. If he had gotten the LDR second, then he can go for the IE. But the fact that he got the Collector second into a relatively tanky Xin Zhao and a super tank in the Malphite, he realized belatedly that he would need that armor shred as we see a fight breakout.
Sam is he's 1 HP. Flash forward from Platypus is going to take him down. The whole squad is here. Fourth shot from Good Faith is going to send you to your demise. We have Baron spawning in 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that kill, not gonna lead to all that much except getting a little bit more gold in your Jin's pocket, which, frankly, is where you want to see it.
But one thing you have to realize, the Jhin did use the Gale Force, the Jhin used the Exhaust. He's not going to have those tools for the fight. He's only going to have the Flash, to really keep himself safe. That's something that they can really, pressure and take advantage of. Platypus Killer, however, also used his own Flash, along with Brinticus. So those are 2 flashes for these, these junglers that they won't have to get into the pit if they need to make a clutch up steal, right? Sam didn't use anything, just kind of dropped over and died. That's kind of a boon for the side of Aquamarine, but also disadvantage. But either way, 2 minutes on this next Drake, 25 seconds on this Baron, and it's honestly the side of Genie Aquamarine that should be worried about this Baron. If it does happen, it's going to be super rough because they're going to instantly pick this up. It's not going to be pretty because they're going to be able to, again, advance map state. But, we just haven't been seeing the advancing of map state. That's what I've been waiting for. And both teams have just been kind of letting the minions do all the work.
Yeah, in none of these big team fights... Oh, I'm going to have to cut myself off there. The flash from Makia going on out. The blast cone is going to push him away, but the flash is what saved him really there. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say now. With the Baron now up, 70 hasn't been in any of these team fights. You have your huge AoE damage on the Orianna, and he has not been there for anything, really. And him just arriving is really just going to throw Going Ghost for a big shock, I think.
Absolutely. So, minute and a Drake. What is this setup coming up from the 2 teams? Genie, Aquamarine, they've just kind of, ever since they lost that fight at the second Drake, around the second Drake, they've just kind of been rolling over and giving everything over to the side of Going Ghost here. But
Sam's gonna be caught out there, and you're just giving Platypus an in. One more auto attack, possibly. Never mind. The shields are insane. Platypus Killer is going to fall. The Brinticus, Good Faith is godlike. The Shockwave coming on out is going to get the last auto attack onto Banakali. But once again, Good Faith just picking up more gold. The shutdown is going to pad his pockets. Victory Slash using the Gale Force to get out of dodge. But that's a triple kill for Good Faith. Striker trying to run away with his life. Already used the Unstoppable Force to get out of there. Suddenly your whole team is dead. Both of the objectives are up on the map. Which one are they going for first?
Yeah, this is really good for them. They just have the buy, go bot side, pick up that Drake alone. They don't need anybody there to do it. The rest of the team focuses down these turrets, and they can start putting pressure on these inhibitors. Really good stuff from Going Ghost. Unfortunately, Banakali did kind of drop there, was a little bit off on the side, trying to 1v1 the 3-item Orianna with only 2 items on the Vex. Not the best move in the world, but I guess they were just trying to keep them out of the fight, right? That's if that was your goal, really good job. You definitely did, but now it's Hextech Soul. This is where the Jhin really shines. That's a long-range soul for a long-range character. He just needs to auto the wave once, get the slow, drop the W. they're going to find a kill every single time.
Yeah.
Hexexal's
So
busted.
they didn't immediately rotate to the Baron. They took the Dragon, and then they recalled. So going Ghost, having the soul advantage, the item advantage, gold advantage, all of that. How do we think this Baron fight is going to end up?
Unless Good Faith ends, absolute smash fest for the side of going Ghost. Unless Good Faith ends. If Good Faith is just caught out of position by a really good root by Makia, or really good ultimate by 70s, or really good unstoppable force by Shrayeka, I just don't see any other way except him just getting, honestly, a Quadra or a Pentakill, right? Like, he just is going to be doing so much damage to the enemy team.
Yeah. Genie, Aquamarine is pushing into their own jungle. Everyone's a little afraid to do anything. Nobody wants to make the first move. And whether that bites them in the behind or not, I'm not too sure.
It's a scary thing when you're facing a 13-2 Jhin with 4 items going, instead of for that IE, going for the rapid fire cannon, now building towards, what does that build into? IE or GA, right? I think pickaxe. Yeah. So GA or IE, either way, he's still going to be either unkillable or he's going to kill you too fast, right? So they're finally aggressing into the enemy jungle, finally, feeling brave enough to walk in and start grabbing some vision back, but they still need to keep focusing on farming for their AD carry. They still need her to at least reach 3 items before they even attempt to take this fight. But again, we just see, IE AD carries not building IE. This build hurts Victory Slash a lot more than it hurts the Jhin.
Yeah, Genie, Aquamarine, they're not doing the Baron. They're waiting in the Pixel Brush to try to do something. To me, this play is very silly.
Oh, look at Banakali though. They're off on the flank. It doesn't quite.
This is such a free Baron that they're just not taking.
The Baron's a little. Ooh.
Oh. That's both Gale Forces coming on out mid lane. The wind becomes lightning, lands in the good faith. Unstoppable force. That's your carry. Down. Orianna's going to be able to pick up the kill, and the Shadow Surge coming on in onto 70 is huge. Brenticus is going to fall to Strika, but Banakali running away. The rest of his team is dead, but Business Time still in there. The last remaining member is going to pick up the kill before he dies. He does. The explosive cast damage onto Makia is going to take him out. Platypus, pretty low HP. Business Time could definitely make something happen, but Strika is just running in there. Look at that. Orianna speed. Business Time, he's just under half HP. What a fight.
Absolute fight, and it's exactly what I said. As long as Good Faith doesn't int, they're going to win this game. What does Good Faith do? Except get caught out misposition. It was a good attempt trying. I saw what he was going for. He was trying to make a play on a Victory Slash, but at the, I've been saying it since he's been 0 and 5. What point in there is going for this Caitlyn? They're useless pretty much. They're just bait for you to go for. The fact that he used the Gale Force, a movement tool with no flash available for himself, that was just a free kill. Shrayeka saw his opportunity, went for it. Everybody else pounced on it. Really good Wind Becomes Lightning by Platypus Killer to kind of slow him up there. Granted, Gragas was able to sneak into the backline and finish off Victory Slash, but everybody else on the team, they got wiped out, and he realized he couldn't take the fight anymore. Really, really good stuff coming out from the side of Genie Aquamarine. If they're able to repeat this two or three more times, this game is honestly going back to, square one. Super, super close between these two teams.
Yeah, during the pre-game lobby, I don't remember who it was, but one of the players mentioned that this is going to be another 50-minute banger. I thought they were joking, although it's starting to look a little bit like it. It just keeps flip-flopping back and forth, and unless Good Faith can keep himself alive in one of these later fights, one of these fights for a big objective, one that's already on the map and the other that's spawning really soon, then,
we might have a 50-minute banger, but more than likely, this game ends in minute 20 seconds, right? Because this is the huge objectives. This is the one that teams have to fight for. Because even if you've been losing all game long and you finally get Elder, even the Caitlyn will start doing damage, right? True damage, 45 true damage per auto attack is nothing to scoff at. This Caitlyn will be a threat, and the rest of her team will be too. So if they're able to grab this Baron or Elder somehow by sneaking it out from under their noses, stealing it, the game's going to be theirs again. But if they lose this Elder, Jin's going to one-shot everybody. So this is hugely important. Both teams have to play for this. 45 seconds left on this timer for it, and they're now getting the resets out. Good stuff from them.
Going Ghost is already setting up for the Elder. We see the mid lane being pushed, the bot lane being pushed out. Everyone's just doing their part, you know? They're doing their effort in the war.
Absolutely, and they need the mid priority so they can walk down safely. They need bot lane priority as well to walk up from the bot side safely. They just need priority anywhere so they can walk safely. Right now they don't have that, and they're going to be, you know, in this small little choke point, they're going to lose. Sam and Gragas just do too much work on their champions.
70 is just, he's staying in the back. He knows that he's the big damage dealer on the team. Platypus can only do so much. He can only focus one person. But Noriana could potentially hit the entire team. Look at the right side of the map. Vanakali is there, but there we go. Not quite the engage we were looking for, though, but the curtain call is going to open. That's the Crescent Guard, going to be protecting the team. Victory Slash, whoa! The huge explosive cast is going to make this fight what you need it to be. Ace in the hole is going to do damage, but not as much as you were hoping for. Look at everybody. 70's doing so much damage. Good Faith going to pick up his second kill of the fight. The Shadow Surge not going to connect. Victory Slash is trying to escape. You blink, and GNE Aquamarine is down.
You blink and you'll miss them. They just got eviscerated in that fight. Really good job from Good Faith just to sneak that last 4 shot through. And then a really good engage coming out from Business Time. Really good cast to break up the team, push the multiple members into his team. That's exactly what you need to do when you got the Gragas. Beautiful flank from Banakali. Really good job on the Vex, finding the double kill there. And yeah, from that's all she wrote, right? That's all they need to crack open this game, especially once they find this Elder. Victory Slash. You have to imagine Buddy's gonna go down soon, although,
Hey, yo, Victory Slash, he did it. He got a kill, guys. Woo! He did it!
He did it. His team's losing at the end of the day. So this is the last hurrah from Platypus Killer, trying to do something.
Yeah, Banakali is going to die here, and Good Faith is just going to get run down. They try to end the game. Oh, wait, Brinskis not going to save his life, but got pretty close to it. Going to be able to take down Strika. Still has pretty good HP. Going on to 70s. Nah, not enough.
I don't think the Karma was up, so I think they just threw away the Karma wasn't up, so they just threw away the Elder Drake there, trying to end the game prematurely. I understand what they were going for, but they just didn't have the HP bars. They just didn't have the mana, resource pool necessary to do it. Really over aggressive play coming from them, and now we're back to we're just back to a little bit of a reset here. 5 minutes for this Elder. Baron's up, it's available. They can bait them into a fight here, and that's exactly what they need to do. They really need to focus on controlling these waves so that it just feels like a noose around the side of
Whoa, alright, Sam is going to flash away. That's the Soul Shackles from Makia, which means that Going Ghost is going to have a pretty nice advantage in the upcoming fight, unless the cooldown is a lot shorter than I think it is, and it does look like it's going to be. So, whoops, my bad.
It happens. But yeah, 70's using the ultimate. Well, it's a tiny of a short cooldown at level 18, so it's not too bad that they dropped it, but it still feels, not great to be using your ultimate like that. But one thing that they're able to do now that the ultimate's gone, now that the flash has gone from Makia, and the, super minions are spawning, they're going to be able to start pushing in and aggressing towards this Baron, start grabbing up vision, start sitting in those pockets and making it so scary for multiple members to walk up, and that's exactly what you want to do. Makia should die here.
Yeah, Going Ghost is going to start the Baron here. Business Time does have the TP available, and you see the Malphite wanting to go on in. Look at that damage! The Vex is insane! Whoa, Sam is just going to clean that up, and Makia dies, unable to do anything. The Unstoppable Force to get the knock-up. He's going to try to do something, but the roots from the Everfrost is coming on out. Platypus Killer and the Shockwave are going to evaporate Sam. 70's taking one auto attack from Good Faith, and there is his H-Par gone. Double kill for Good Faith. Is it going to be the triple? It doesn't matter if it's the triple, because you are over. 39 minutes in the game. Going Ghost is going to take it.
Going Ghost, and especially Good Faith doing what? 1,000 damage crits to Caitlyn and Orianna. That was a little bit nasty, but even after a few tactical ints, they managed to bring it through and taking us to game two, going Ghost. Though they struggled a little bit in that early game, and that's something that I would take to heart. If I was Genie Aquamarine, I would be focusing on that early game and drafting, for that early game, right? We had a really good early game pressuring team. We just need to like, what's the word? Um, Tighten up our play a little bit. Just perform that little bit better, and we're gonna be able to bring it through.
Yeah, well, we are going to toss it to an intermission. So pull your pants up, ready your socks, and we're gonna have a banger game two, Arlen. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies, men, and monsters. Welcome back. We are just getting ready for the draft of the second game. After what happened in the first game, Arlen, how are we feeling?
I am feeling like Genie Aquamarine need to. I already said that towards the end of the last game. They just need to adjust their pick ban strategy just a little bit, right? I think their early game was really good and they were able to really take it to Going Ghost. But playing through bot side isn't necessarily looking like the answer for me. The answer is to play towards top side, play towards the mid lane, and play towards the jungle. You know, either one of those guys can carry this game. That's what they need to be doing, and then they just leave bot lane relatively isolated on a safe champion. So either you draft them Ziggs, you either draft them Ezreal, and they just sit down there, wave clear, don't get dove, don't die. Maybe even Zai Rakan, let the Rakan go off to another lane and roam. But we're gonna get a first pick Urgot.
Insta-lock Urgot at that. And Aquamarine is going to ban out the Jhin, which is more of a respect thing than anything.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about the ban?
50-50. Like I understand that the Jhin was an issue and he is relatively strong in the meta right now. However, like I said, they just didn't. It's more that their strategy needs adjustment more than the Jhin is actually the issue, right? Like they need to adjust more towards playing away from the Jhin than actually banning out the Jhin entirely, because he can do probably the same thing on a Jinx, probably the same thing on a Twitch, on a Kai'Sa, on any on a Vayne, right? On any one of these hyper carries. And right now, even as I say Vayne, the Vayne's looking really, really good all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, you got a big beefy Ornn, the ranged melee tanky DPS assassin mage champion.
Everything.
And suddenly, Vayne's looking pretty good here. I think Vayne, just as a champion in general, is really cool. She has a lot of outplay potential material, if you would. We're going to be picking up the Lucian. This is flexible to the mid lane, so the Vayne could still be open if needed, and we're going to be seeing Mrs. Renata Glask.
Okay. Miss Renata Glass coming up from the side of Genie Aquamarine.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. You gotta say it like that. You gotta put some respect on her name. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, yeah, you're
Miss
right.
Glass, bro. But one thing you should note about Miss Glass, she's really, really oppressive into compositions where you want to engage into her. However, when you're chasing after enemies or when you're the ones doing the engaging, she really feels bad. So it's kind of on Going Ghost to recognize that a Renata getting picked up means that you have the opportunity to play away from the enemy team. And I kind of like the Draven for that reason, because he has the opportunity to play away from the team, also go aggressive and go crazy once he sees his opening. The Ornn is super non-committal with his ultimate. If he throws it out there and it gets countered, you guys don't have to follow up on it. Or Morgana, also super non-committal with her binding, right? Like it's a lot of non-committal champions who really go hard on the plate once they see their opportunity to go in. So this Renata can be super int if they aren't, if it's drafted too early, and I'm afraid it's drafted just that little bit too early here.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I have never seen Renata in a competitive environment. Not yet. This is my first time. I have no idea what she plays like. Differently from solo queue, I should say. So, to me, the Draven feels very weird. Mostly because solo queue is full of idiots who will get hit by the ultimate. Do you think that's going to go differently in a competitive environment?
Listen, man, getting hit by ultimates, long range ultimate from downtown. I don't know. It happens to the best of us. I mean, it happened to Duke all the way back. Ash Arrow, game-winning Ash Arrow from Prey. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, the monkey getting picked into Renata. This one feels like the Renata is starting to come through and be really, really good, right? Wukong, once he goes in, he has no real escape tools, especially if he uses his W to boost his engage. So now it's really feeling rough, but if they're able to find a huge advantage through this monkey jungle, which is where I assume he's going, they're going to be able to win this. Ooh, Kane. Kane. Not sure how I feel about this one. I wonder what he's paired with. That's a really important thing. What is his mid jungle pairing? You assume the Kane's going into the jungle. What do you grab mid with him? Could be potentially another Oriana angle. 70s performed super well on that one. Might as well just pick it up for them again. I don't see the issue with the Oriana here, to be honest.
Mhm. And the Lux is going to be picked up as the solo laner, I would assume. I'm hoping.
I hope it's not
I
Renata
hope.
made. I really hope
Um,
it's not Renata made.
Kane and Monkey. Wukong, Kane.
Hmm.
I like both of these champions a lot. I
Mhm.
don't like Kane in competitive. I think he is useless,
Uh-huh.
honestly. But Monkey, ooh ah. That's
Yeah.
all I got.
I think the monkey is, especially since the buffs, he's really sleeper good in competitive. I think he's actually pickable in multiple roles, which is his best strength, right? I think he's pickable in 3 roles at least. There could be an argument where you want a melee bot with pairing with a Senna, so probably 4 roles. If that's your prerogative, if you want a bruiser with a Senna, it's up to you guys. But yeah, so at least 3 roles, super good. Really do like the monkey here. Throws that little bit of a wrench into the Genie Aquamarine's plans. Kane feels like a one trick, kind of like the same vein of the Vi, yeah, for going Ghost last time. However, the Vi brings actual CC and lockdown to a team, whereas Kane has to go for red form. But at the same time, look at how many squishy members on the side of going Ghost. Blue form would really benefit him. He really wants to assassinate Draven. He really wants to shut down the Morgana and the Ahri. But red form is, that's the only place where he can get the CC and really perform a delaying action for his team, which I think is, in this competitive sense, a lot more viable. But blue form is more than likely what he's going to get, even though it's a lot less viable here. And it's kind of that thing that has Kane going on where it's really rough to really pick him when there's other junglers who do his job better.
Yeah. So I'm looking back at the Renata. Again, this is my first time seeing it in competitive. I have so many questions.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking of words right now.
Words are important. Yes, yes, yes.
English is a pretty cool language.
Sometimes.
So Going Ghost drafted a comp that doesn't necessarily rely very much on auto attacks, with the exception of Draven. So how are we expecting to see the hostile takeover used?
We're expecting to see the hostile takeover used as a delaying action, right? It's a disengage tool, and then they can it's a rough one, right? Genie, Aquamarine, they don't have any engage. They only have a disengage composition, right? It's on going. If Going Ghost recognizes this, they can easily counter it because Genie, Aquamarine don't have engage, and that's the biggest issue. So they're kind of forcing Renata to act as a primary engage, even though she is one of the slowest moving ultimates in the game with the hostile takeover. And it's really, really good at delaying stuff, and it's really good, like you said, into auto attackers. Wukong is going to hurt some people, Draven as well, but the rest of them are going to be hitting each other for pennies, so it doesn't really matter. But and Morgana can completely counter it with her own ultimate, right? Or her own black shield. So that's at least one person who's not going to be hurting anybody on their allied team. So yeah, not really sure how the Renata is going to work, especially when their only engage is a Lucky Lux binding, Urgot flip, or Kane knockup.
Yeah, well, that's to say, if Kane goes red, I hope he does.
Yeah.
But it's on the board. You never know.
Yeah. Again, I think red is better this game. More than likely, he goes blue just because there's three range in the game, and he's probably going to be focusing bot side to try and play around his super aggressive bot lane. But they also have a super aggressive bot lane, which is why his attention is going to be drawn more down there. But the better move would be to go to red, so to focus top side, try to bait Wukong into 2v2s, because Urgot Kane actually can win the 2v2 into Orin Wukong before items come in. After items, it's Wukong Orin favored all the way. And then Ahri, Lux, Ahri just has to wait till 6, then she can easily kill this Lux on repeat.
100%. With the Spirit Rush, dodging the bindings is not going to be very difficult. Once you hit level 6, at that point, it's skill issue if you get hit.
Yeah, skill issue. Skill issue. Oh man, I love it when you just put skill issue in chat after getting a solo kill. Just a little bit of light beam, a little bit of light flame.
Here's a little challenge for chat. Every time Ahri gets a solo kill, if at all, type skill issue in chat.
Exactly. But with that, Cowboy, I think it's time for us to throw it to a quick break.
You
Folks,
know,
don't go anywhere. Grab yourself some
it
water
does
because
look
next.
like that, Arlen. We
Yeah.
will be back right when the game starts. Don't hop out. We're gonna see how this game plays out. See you then. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back on the Rift. I'm still Cowboy Cast. I'm still with Arlen.
Yeah, what's up? I'm ready for game number two. And do I see anything interesting I want to talk about in terms of Runes or mastery? Well, I do want to highlight Platypus Killer going for the Conquer, so we do know it's probably going to be a Red King game, which we kind of wanted, in the draft phase. So his focus is going to be on the top side of the map, which is again what I wanted to see out of 70s and the squad of G&E Aquamarine. I want them to focus on the top side of the map. I want them to put pressure on this Ornn. That's exactly what I asked for them to do, since the conclusion of the first game. So good on them. However, they don't have a safe bot lane. They have a relatively aggressive bot lane, especially when Makia going for the ignite into Good Faith and Sam. This one can be a little bit dangerous for them if they're not careful.
Yeah. So mid lane, they're just it's mage on mage. It's really nothing to see. One of them is gonna get a solo kill, and then they're gonna roam bot and then get a double kill, and then they're gonna win the game.
Yeah,
Welcome
I love
to League of Legends.
I love mid lane. It's the best role in the game. Absolutely. Can't
I
let
love
it
mid
go.
lane, guys. I love mid lane.
Oi, oi, oi. No, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what you want to see coming out from this Lux, coming out from this Ari. You already see a little bit of the dueling potential, this bot lane is capable of. Draven going for Hail Blades here, definitely looking to just run down the opponent once they get that level 2 power spike.
Yeah. I really want to pay attention to top lane here. I know that Urgot is pretty powerful early on, and there's a pretty good trade going on in bot lane, but looking top lane as well. Urgot does a lot of damage, okay? You cannot underestimate Urgot damage, because he's going to want to rush the Tiamat, and then he will just clear waves, like lightning fast, and Ornn's health bar will suddenly look like a caster minion.
Yeah. However, if Ornn doesn't build the super secret sauce into Urgot. You might be asking, what's a super secret sauce? Well, I will tell you. It is actually just a Bramble Vest plus I think, what is it? Stone Pauldrons? I think that's it. Oh,
The
what's
support
the
item?
No, not the support item. The one that gives you the rock hard passive where you take less damage per auto attack. But you get right up here. I forget.
I don't know. No, we're qualified.
Warden's Mail. Definitely
That
qualified.
one, yeah. All right. We are the dumbest people on earth. And while we were discussing about items that we should definitely know, Business Time and Strika had a little kerfuffle in the top lane. Brinticus, he's waiting. He's waiting for Strika to go back in. So Strika used his flash to get out of that little event, while Ornn only had to use his dash. And there it is. Brinticus is here. There it is. First blood for Strika. Is Brinticus going to be able to get the kill? Oh, he is. The red buff is going to finish him off. And now it's Platypus versus Brinticus. They both have pretty chunky waves. What is this? What? The minions!
Oh, but look in the bot lane.
And I was too busy contemplating my life after watching that top clip. I didn't even see what happened. Volume. Good faith. Oh, no, he walked into it. Victory slash. Is to auto attack him with the Lucian passive, the Light Slinger, to finish him off. And there are the mid laners.
There are the mid laners.
That's it.
But yeah, just going topside, focusing on what just happened topside. Brinticus looking for the regank opportunity, and I like that. That's exactly what you need to be doing. You already got the guy's flash, you already got Strika's flash. Why not go for the regank? The issue is he didn't. It's kind of where you blink and you miss it type of situations where he's like, well, nothing's gonna happen now, and he walks away, then something immediately happens, right? It's one of those sad situations, but he got trolled, so he ended up having to force his own flash to get back into the fight, and Strika barely died just due to the minions, the red buff. Now Brinticus, then he was in a 1v1 with Platypus Killer. Really good job on him to recognize the fact that fully stacked Wukong with his passive can actually do quite a bit of damage into this Kayn. So almost coming out on top of that, if he had been able to get away with it, a 2 for 0, absolutely insane. But the fact that he got a 2 for 1 at all, still, or a 2 for 2, 2 and 1 and his scoreline, still really good stuff. In the bot lane, good flash or good faith. What are you doing, buddy? You just walked into it. Victory's flash was able to find the flash. Sad.
You already know he's getting flamed for that one, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody's gonna clip it and then like spam his DMs with it and be like, good faith is bad.
Oh no, not even the DMs. The team's gonna clip it. Every time he has an opinion about the game, they're just gonna be like, "Didn't you walk into the Lucian camp?"
It's like the guy that walked into the Into the Lucian queue. How was
Oh
you?
man. Oh man, it's like the flashbacks. Um, but yeah, but they do have priority bot side. They do have a little bit of pressure coming from the mid lane. This Drake is definitely on the table, but good job from Kane to kind of recognize that it's an objective, kind of keep away from it, and able to steal away that early scuttle crab. If anything, it's more for a boon for his own team than it is keeping away from the enemy team. But
Ornn using the E to dash forward a little bit too early, not going to get the knock up. So Strika, one trade, and suddenly Ornn's entire health bar is gone.
yeah, the first pick got, and then we counter pick it with an Ornn. Doesn't really feel like a counter pick, but
Sam stepped forward a little bit too far. That was really greedy positioning.
yeah, it really was. It was not just greedy positioning, but greedy pathing. You can't be going that way. You have to go the safe route, especially when you have the Wukong on the bot side of that. Your buddy was right there. But one thing that they don't see is Brinticus as he sneaks into this bush here. A good fight for the Drake.
It could, and that's Renata gonna be hitting the Q, the stun. You just want to stall the timer, if you would. You know Kane does not have smite here. So he used it earlier, and looks like Brinticus is going to steal the dragon. Platypus Killer going to that kill as well. The Ignite is on him, however. The last tick, there it is. Banakali is going to get a kill back. Suddenly, you have one kill. You're the more fed mid laner. We're gonna have to see what happens.
Yeah, the more fed mid laner, who also, that's pretty nice on the more impactful mid laner as well. I will say that, right? I think Ahri is just more impactful than Lux. Lux is a very stopgap champion, but Ahri can do that plus more, right? She can be there, make aggressive plays, or charm flashes, ults, Everfrost, everything, and the kitchen sink. 70s kind of just throws Qs and shields, and then ultimate one-shots people, but beyond that, it's really like easy to deal with. All of her abilities are skill shots, and that's one thing you just kind of have to consider. Skill shots into a Draven with the movement speed buff, into an Ahri with an ultimate that can 3 dashes or more, Brinticus with a dash plus another dash that turns him invisible, and Ornn who can't be CC'd if he chooses not to. Also into a Black Shield. This Lux pick feels very, very rough, no matter where she goes, right? So they did end up losing to Drake, but I don't think it feels that bad for Genie Aquamarine after getting a kill.
Definitely not. I'm more looking at Victory Slash here. That was a really good fight for him. Your Lucian is now 2-0-1, which is money you really want to see. He's picking up the Sheen, which means that this Draven is suddenly going to become very, not irrelevant, but do a lot less damage, especially since he opted into picking up the Vamp Scepter.
Absolutely. The Vamp Scepter feels rough. It does do a lot more damage than it used to do, so it's not like he's nuking his damage like if you formally win Vamp Scepter, you're pretty much nuking your damage on Draven, right?
Yeah.
Now you're not nuking it as much anymore, but still, think about what he could have bought, right? He could have bought that, serrated Dirk, he could have bought that Caulfield's Warhammer or a Sheen, right? Any number of Draven builds, bro could have been absolutely smacking them, but instead he's going for a more sustaining build because he's kind of, he's behind in this lane. He doesn't feel in control. He doesn't feel confident. I don't think Platypus Killer should be confident going for this one.
Not out. Platypus is in a sticky spot. That's going to be the Cyclone from Brinticus.
Oh, the charm!
Oh, he's going to go forward using the flash as well to use the second charge on the 7C. Banakali is just dashing all over the place, trying to get 70 down. Flash forward, the charm! He knew what was going on. And are the last auto attacks going to finish him off, or is the turret? No!
Oh my!
No! You hate to see it. 70 just knew what was up, man. You got the Q to keep him under turret. You got the ultimate, the final spark coming on out to end Banakali's life. It's such a courageous play from Ahri.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Yeah, no. That's one of those plays where you're telling your buddies, like, guys, what was I thinking, right? Like, you just look at your head in your hands, and you're like, what was I thinking? I should have known my own damage calculations, right? I just didn't understand the damage on my champions. I really like the flash charm that they got off in the first place, and Brinticus immediately flashing and following up with the second ultimate, but when they dropped their own barrier, when they dropped their own flash, and they instantly got out, you kind of should realize, okay, we can't make this go any harder. We should back off. You know, let's just take the prize we got, right? We got the Rift Herald, we got a kill onto Platypus Killer. It should be good enough. And using that Rift Herald, they managed to crack open some plates mid, so not too awful. Especially when Wukong is the first person in this game to reach a mythic. He's gonna be the main carry for this side of going Ghost here.
Yeah, Wukong is who you love to see that first mythic on. Wukong has a lot of brawling potential, and being able to run down anybody really because of the mobility on his W with the clone, because of the like the triple dash thing where it's like a and there's like clones.
Yeah,
I don't know what the abilities are called, to be completely honest. But you know what I'm talking about. And there's the culling coming on out. The hostile takeover is gonna miss, but there's the cyclone. 3 people are gonna be knocked up. Platypus is going to be using the orbital trespass, but it is not enough to save his life. Briticus is going to pick up 1. Sam, though the Q is not gonna connect. Makia barely gets out. So much used, so much gained for going Ghost.
Yeah, and it's like when you have a Renata, she can't be your engage. We saw what happened. They tried to get a flash Renata ultimate. Wow, that would have been, you know, it's one of those things that where it would have been great if the ultimate was just anything but a Renata ultimate, right? Like, it's just the slowest moving ultimate in this game. It's so unimpactful if she's just they're just able to walk out of it, and that's just what they were able to do. It only hit onto the Wukong, and it only landed there for like 2 auto attacks. He was able to get out of it immediately and turn onto your Kane and Lucian and kill them. So if that Renata ultimate isn't better placed, or if it's not like used on already CC targets or people who are already running into you, it's just such a bad ultimate. It's really hard to use, really hard to properly control, and that's just makes one of the reasons why Renata is just a hard champion to really plan a team comp around.
Yeah, not only that, Renata is just a more difficult champion to pilot. Not like mechanically so much, but you need to know what's going on around you. You need to have eyes, one could say. And in most elos below Diamond, a lot of people haven't unlocked the map DLC. It's a little uncommon, so if you haven't heard of it, you know, I understand.
Any map DLC picture.
Look at the top lane. Strika flashing forward. There it is. Fear beyond death, and Ornn is dying.
Dying, dead. Goodbye. This is a complete reversal from game 1, right? You know, game 1 we saw Strika really putting the hurt, or no, was it? No. Business time really putting the hurt on Strika. Now we're watching Strika really put the hurt on Business Time, right? It's like, if the matchup is even, you have to imagine that Business Time wins it. But if the match is completely uneven in the favor of Strika, he is really adept at using the inherencies of his champion to find victories where, you know, necessarily we don't necessarily expect Urgot to be getting these solo kills, but he's just able to pick them up because he's just really confident on this Urgot here. So if they're able to play through to Urgot, if they're able to play through the 1-0 70s, they're going to find themselves in a really good position to win this game. However, if they try to play through Platypus Killer, and if, you know, trying to play through this Renata, it's really going to feel bad.
Platypus Killer is showing up to the bottom lane, though he's going a little bit wide. Or, not wide, a little narrow on the gank. I think if he committed to it, they probably could have made something happen. They should know that bot lane doesn't have any sums except Ignite. Victory Slash has the culling. Makia has the hostile takeover. You could potentially make something big happen.
Definitely, but they have to look at what's coming to them at the bot side of the map. Look at that, that's going to be a roam. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh, this is really not good for them. Using the hostile takeover so prematurely, especially when the roam's already coming out.
Yeah, there it is. The huge power dive. Sam is going to be tanking first. Victory Slash is going to be taken down by Ban Akali. Makia is just, look at him. What do you do? Ban Akali's tanking the turret. Possibly going to get another takedown, although maybe not. The Knight coming on through from 7. Going to use the dash to go away. Is he going to be able to get the kill into Makia? No, he is not. The final spark is going to finish him off. And Sam's in a little bit of trouble now. Platypus is going to be using the Umbral Trespass while in the stopwatch there. The Gorge Ringer is going to heal him up, and double kill for Platypus Killer. Beyond the odds.
Yeah, that was really good job from Platypus Killer. Really good usage of the Gorge Ringer. Really good job coming from the side of the rest of his team. You know, Ooh, what's the name of that one Renata ability? She's too new, but there's a fight in the top side.
There's a fight in the top side going on, although maybe not. Call of the Forge God, used to disengage Strika. Imagine if he had it now.
Absolutely. Feels bad, man.
Striker knows what's up. He's gonna be dashing in, but Briticus is here. Strika, you have no flash. You can't be caught lacking, baby.
Fortunately, was caught lacking. Feels bad, and that's just a free little Rift-Tailed, right? They're just going to pick that up. You have to imagine so. They already grabbed the Drake. They already got their resets out. Brinticus is going to be resetting. But I was just going to say, really good job from Makia to drop the bailout onto Platypus. Really good usage of the Gorge Ring to keep himself up top, tip-top in tippity shop shape. And they were able to find a double kill because, you know, Banacoli just went way too deep just for... I'm not really sure. It really aggressive on this Ahri. And it's one thing where he should probably temper his aggression that little bit, right? If he was a little bit more cautious in the way he used his champion, we'd probably be seeing a lot more results from this Ahri.
Yeah. So, Draven went Eclipse this game. Which I don't think is bad. I like Eclipse. I love the item. I think it's cool. But I think Shield Bow would have been better. Whoa, the culling just coming on out, face tanking it. Sam, whirling death. First half is going to hit, but Victory Slash is going to get away. A little ambitious there.
Yeah, I see what they were going for though.
For sure.
I was, you know, while I was thinking about what to say about the Eclipse versus Shield Blow argument. Okay, he does that. But Shield Blow versus Eclipse argument, I like both. I see why he went for the Eclipse here because he has relatively tanky members to cut through, and he really needs that extra, percent damage versus surviving the burst. So I see why he wanted to go for it. However, I also see why, the other way, for the argument, just he needs to survive the burst. But they're just going to be dropping this Ripple, get 2 turrets, and business time going in. Buddy, I don't think this is what you want to do.
Not really having a good time. You have a Herald in your lane. You just lost 2 turrets topside. So not only is this Urgot going to be able to run you down for longer, but this first Baron spawning in 2.5 minutes is going to be very advantageous for Aquamarine.
Absolutely. Genie Aquamarine, not complete reversal. This is kind of on point, on brand for what we saw game 1. Relatively strong early game, but can they keep it up, right? Can their early game keep up with their late game prowess? Is their macro point? That's what remains to be seen, and that's still the question for me. I'm still waiting for them to really show me something that I haven't seen from them.
Yeah, but another really important thing to notice is that Going Ghost is already on Soul Point, and we are 18 minutes into the game, and this is an Ocean Soul. And when you have some big guys like Ornn and Wukong on your team, that could be the difference between winning or losing a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's... I think Ocean Soul here is just really impactful for both teams, right? Because you look at the Kayn, he's going to be going for a red Kayn, right? He's going to be healing so much innately. Any boost to that healing is going to be super scary. Urgot loves Ocean Soul just because his little legs proc it every second, right? 70s, it's a Lux. She's whatever about it, but
Brinticus bot lane. I'd like to say he's caught out, but nah, he's just going to dash away. Doesn't want to commit to anything, Mr. Monkey.
Yeah, especially not when he has allies walking down the river to help him out there. But look at that, Kayn and Brinticus both on the bot side. Could be a 3v1.
Sam's going to be chilling down here as well, Sam in good faith.
Okay.
Going Ghost is definitely just waiting out this Dragon Timer.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. They just need to wait. They just need to wait for this Ocean Soul to pop up and just take it away from their opponent. Just don't give them the opportunity to have it.
Ooh, gonna dodge the charm. Banacoli trying to predict, but clearly predicting a little bit too hard.
Yeah, over predicting.
You can't predict the unpredictable.
Can't predict the unpredictable. So unpredictable, he outpredicts himself. That's the marketing slogan. Yeah, 2 minutes left on this Drake timer. Both teams is competing a little bit. I don't think they need to be any or at all aggressive unless the things they're going for are like turrets or something. they don't need to be aggressive at all. They just need to take it easy, just chill, and just clear vision. They don't even need to trade vision, to be honest. Like, they don't need to drop wards. They don't need to waste time unless it's just the wards to keep themselves the bare minimum of safe. Like those wards, right? They don't need to do anything or overcommit for it. But it might be a commit for this turret here.
Yeah, in which I don't blame them for. Getting this turret would be nice. You'll be able to have more waves pushing out, and more importantly, you'll be able to push waves further so you can set yourself up for a Baron on the complete other side of the map.
Absolutely, or more importantly, on this side of the map, you know, they get the priority necessary for a Drake. They get the priority mid if they're able to keep mid priority. But, you know, having your Lux, your main wave clear up top side, just wave clearing into an Orin, give up the turret or send Urgot into him. It really doesn't matter who's going into the... Or it doesn't matter about that turret, realistically, right? You want your Lux as close to the fight, as close to the mayhem as possible when she's 2-0 with a completed item, right? And halfway to the next one. She's so strong at this point. Use her to the best of her advantage, and you'll be able to win fights. But just resigning her to the top side is just not what they've been needing to do. Maybe if she was down there, they could have gone for something. Either way, 40 seconds left on this next Drake. They're going to, you know, soul point, like you pointed out, for the side of going Ghost. This one's for all the marbles. Brindicus is caught.
Marbles are numerous in this. Whoa, the final spark doing quite a lot of damage over to Brinticus, and Call the Forge God is going to come on out. Platypus is in the back line. The hostile takeover, it's going to hit 1. It's going to hit 2. Platypus is going in. Victory Slash is going in as well. The damage coming on out. Banacali is super low, but so is Platypus. Business time, he's just kind of using his time very inefficiently. He wasn't able to do as much as he was hoping. Now Good Faith is in a really bad spot all by himself. Victory Slash is going to be able to just melt him down. And Aquamarine is going to pick up this dragon. Unless Brinticus can make a hero play. The flash forward from Makia, sorry, is going to eviscerate Good Faith. Oh, a little bit too early in. Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, the poor man!
Doesn't even matter. He's just bye-bye. That's your soul delayed by another, at minimum, 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you didn't need to throw the extra death sentence on top of her, right? Like, Business Time and Brinticus, they didn't need to go for it. Once they had already realized they lost... The fight was lost at the moment Brinticus was caught out, right? They can no longer win the fight. They use too many ultimates on him. He's too low. They should realize that. They should be like, okay, you know what? You take us out of the fight. We're going to go take a turret. They should immediately turn after the fight, go take the mid turret, and then start roaming up to the top side to take that turret, push in some waves, do something else, right? Do anything else except go for the fight, right? Because going for the fight after, you saw what happens. 3 people die, and you still lose the Drake anyway. And again, like you said, 5 minutes minimum till they get their soul. So they just need to be more respecting of the enemy, having wards, having vision, and just not be taking weirdly aggressive, unnecessarily aggressive paths.
Yeah. So, Baron is up on the map. I don't think either team is interested right now, nor can they really, like, do it. Your Draven is at 2 items. Your Lucian is about to finish his Mythic. What has to happen for either side to really make a play? And the culling is coming on out from Victory Slash, and just goodbye, Good Faith.
How was that? I guess he took the entire culling to the head, but still, Good Faith has 2 items over the Lucian, only has 1 and almost a completed full one. Huh. I guess Lucian damage, you know, kind of shows you why Lucian is one of the top tier AD carries right now. As Brinticus finds Strike in his own jungle, he's just gonna run away. Yeah, both sides are setting up for this Baron. Nothing really to talk about except for the fact that there's a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Genie, Aquamarine. And Sam gets cut out.
Oh dear. Sevens is unstoppable. The Lux is 5-0-2. You're getting very, very close, if not already at the point where the final spark it becomes a basic ability.
Yeah, I hate it when he does that, but it will be bringing this.
All the Forge God and the Cyclone coming on out, but the Berserk is going to get 2 autos from Brinticus onto Ban Akali. And Platypus is in there. Look at him. He's going to die to the turret. That's going to be a shutdown into your Wukong's pocket. 600 Gs, baby. 7 is going to have to get out. The rest of the team is just relaxing. They're schmoovin', baby. Look at him.
movement. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, really good stuff and a really nice Ornn upgrade. Exactly to where you know your carry is. You put it directly onto him. DS side complete. Love this item for Wukong. He's going to do so much damage. He's going to sustain for so long. He's going to be so hard to kill. And a really interesting move by Platypus. I don't understand that one. You were never going to get a kill. Even if it is a delaying action, you know, you already use your delaying action, right? You already use your Thorn Mail as Victory Slash.
Victory Slash using the culling, and he's gonna get a lot of damage on the good faith with it, even if he doesn't land the whole thing.
Yeah, not bad on the Lucian. Really confident in his play, using the culling to dissuade any further aggression, but you know, that's a rough path. You know, if they had been more mindful and dropped the exhaust coming up from good faith onto the Victory Slash, that could potentially be a kill right there, I think, because they can sustain through the culling, you know, an exhausted culling. That thing's not going to do any damage at all, but both teams sweeping back and forth. Urgot on the bot side, Ornn not matching that. That's a super important thing to consider. Your Ornn is just up on the top side killing Krugs, I think. Anyway, he's not matching the person he should be matching, and he's going for a... Oh, he went for a turbocharged Hex Spearmint. That's a really rough item for Ornn. He would much prefer Frostfire Gauntlet or Sunfire Cape just to kind of stand in the middle of these teams, right? And just be that wall.
Yeah, being able to get to the fight or having the extra damage from Chem Tank isn't as important as being able to not die in the middle of the fight. It's a very questionable item from Ornn. I'm not a fan of it, man, honestly. We have 35 seconds, and that's the call of the Forge God. The Ornn Horn is coming on out. Makia is going to use the hostile takeover. It hits 3! Sam himself alive, not long enough. Banakali, Victory Slash. Look at him. He already used the culling. It's the Gale Force as well coming on out. The exhaust is what follows suit. Strika is going to be able to pick up a kill. Platypus is going to be able to do as much as well. Victory Slash. He is the carry you dream of. He's the distraction. He's the carry. He's the tank. Look at him. He's doing everything.
really good job, you know, from the side of Going Ghost to like find the opportunity to go in, but a super clutch up stopwatch from the side of 70s. Really delayed and bought his team a lot of time, enough for Renata to be able to drop the hostile takeover and really distract them. Banakali in the backline was able to pick up the Renata at the end of the day. The Lux was still killed, a shutdown given over to Morgana, so not even the best target for that shutdown. If it got over to Wukong, I would even say that that's so worth, right? That's such a huge shutdown, you know, getting multiple kills and trading multiple kills for it. That's honestly really good, but the fact that it went into Morgana's pockets and then, you know, multiple members of yours died, it's not the best thing in the world, especially this Draven pick, you know. We didn't talk about it too much, but, you know, we kind of just assumed it would do a little bit better than it has been. It's just been a little bit lackluster, to say the least.
Yeah. So Baron is up on the map, and once again, the Ocean Soul is going to be delayed by another 5 minutes. It's at a point where I'm not even sure if it's believable anymore, and the culling is going to come out. Rinticus is just going to face tank the whole thing, and he's still at a pretty decent amount of health.
Bro does not care. But Sam should be... Okay. They get out. One thing I want to highlight, Rinticus hasn't gone for a Death Stance yet. Interestingly enough, Death Stance, one of the most busted item on most AD bruisers. Honestly, high key, I'm being 100% with you, I take it on my AP bruisers too. Diana, Death Stance, slaps. Maybe, but it works.
Actually, I
get the
like,
LP.
I play Gangplank jungle, so
yeah, no, not you talking. But Death Stance is it's super busted item. Really good for what it's, you know, what its stats are, what it does. It's better honestly than, you know, Hullbreaker was in the prime of its life in the Hullbreaker meta, right? So just super good item and super rough that he hasn't bought it by now, but he is building towards it, right? You can see the chain vest in his inventory, but look at Platypus go. He's off on the side looking for the flank, looking for the angle, and I think they sense something is up, so they wisely back off.
Both of these teams are just kind of, you know, they're schmoovin', they're chillin'. Ahri is gonna have her Luden's Tempest upgraded. This Ornn is given a lot of value with the passive. The money, the shmoney moves are coming on out. I am descending into madness, Arlen. What is happening to me?
I'm descending into madness.
You
Welcome
watch,
to
you watch
join the
one going ghost game, and you suddenly go insane.
Bro, join the club, you know. It's great to be in the Insanity Club. But either way, going Ghost, they're scaling very well, right? They have an Ornn who's not doing too terrible in the farming department. They have 2 items where they need them, 2 ornaments, one onto the RA, what is that? Eye of Ludin, and then the Dia's Seed, or Dia's Side, rather, on the Wukong. Huge power spikes. Once they get an upgrade onto Good Faith, honestly, they're in a very strong position to claw this game back. You know, they've been down about this much gold the entire time. So once they're able to like equalize the pressure in terms of the map.
Bridticus. The Berserk is going through. Sam gonna take a few autos to the face from big guy Draven.
These two, at least he wasn't carrying an axe. 'Cause, oh God,
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
I think
this game is a lot more stalemate than it should be.
Yeah, I think that's because neither team knows how to advance their lead. I think that's the major thing. Neither team knows through which game plan they want to advance their lead or push whatever advantage they have. So it just kind of results in the rest of the game just stalling out, being real slow. One thing that isn't stalling out is the rate of these Ornn upgrades. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Fizigi? I don't.
Fizigi.
Funny item.
Yeah, is that what language is that?
That was a shame.
Yeah.
They missed both of those.
I wonder what language that is. But that's for a discussion for another time. I'll figure it out eventually. But Bridticus.
Yeah, all right. Well, Bridticus is gonna dash over the wall and get the flash out of Makia. Not somebody whose flash is necessarily valuable, because Renato just wants to stay back anyways. But you know, a flash is a flash. So you can't argue. And there it is, the charm as well! There it is, the kill! The hostile takeover isn't going to be in the fight anymore. You don't have to worry about the positioning as much as you did before. Victory Slash is just on the side. They have no vision. Otherwise, Bridticus definitely could have just evaporated him. Good Faith, going to use his range, start up the dragon. Alright, well, my bird just threw his seeds on the floor, so L. And that's going to be the dragon picked up by Bridticus. He's going to outsmite Platypus, and Platypus is going to fall. The Call of the Forge God not going to connect. And 7 is going to hit one person with the light binding. Finally, they got the Ocean Soul.
Finally, they got the Ocean Soul. Finally, they got 2 kills, and finally, they can look toward this bear. And it's like you said, they don't have the hostile takeover for the fights. The hostile takeover has been what's winning them fights, but Bridticus.
100%. Look at that.
Wow.
Strika is just absolutely melted. And Victory Slash, as much as the culling does damage, you can body block it.
Absolutely, you can send the Ornn in front. You can send, they can juggle off aggro of the members. But at the end of the day, really good pick from them to find Strika. So they're not going to exactly turn toward the Baron immediately. But now they have pressure. Now that they have a Baron complete, they can go for an Elder in 5 minutes. They can go for this Baron whenever the heck they want. And they have so much healing with there's a lot of anti-heal items in this game. Like a lot more than you normally see. Like what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anti-heal items? Quite a bit in terms of the anti-heal department. But still, this Ocean Soul is going to be doing so much work. So much incredible work for the side of going Ghost, and that's all they need, I think, to really crack this game wide open. Now that they don't have to focus on the bot lane so much, they can start working their macro game in the top side, and that's what they're doing with the Draven rotation. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be going for that turret, start pressuring the tier 2. Wukong could be in the mid, or Ari could be in the mid, honestly, and they can start pressuring into the enemy jungle as a 3-man squad or 4-man core, and really start to, like I said, just blow this game wide open, start looking for this Baron here.
Yeah. The game was already even, but despite... Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. The Lux combo just... Goodbye, Sam.
But
still lives, but with just a sliver of HP. And there's a little bit of a brawl going on. The hostile takeover is going to make Bridticus run towards his team. And the Cyclone, both charges are going to have to be used to get him out. Business time, going to be using the Call of the Forge God, and there's the culling. Banacali also gets out with very low HP, and Platypus is going to use the Umbral Trespass over the wall. Business Time is dead. They could turn this into a Baron, and they are.
Easily. But it's on the Wukong to steal this here. He doesn't exactly have flash, so it's going to be hard for him to get into the pit without vision, but they're not sweeping.
Not
they don't know that they have vision on this Baron, and it's definitely stealable. It's definitely stealable, but he just needs to get there. Already down to half HP.
To make it. And it looks like their main damage dealers are going to go over.
They dropped off.
Off them.
Oh, he messed up his damage!
Roll. There it is. All right, blue team is still going to be able to pick up Baron Nashor, Aquamarine. That's a double kill for Sam. They're going to pick up the Baron, but your biggest split pusher, the Urgot, doesn't have it, and neither does Victory Slash.
Yeah, Victory Slash and Urgot going over the wall there, super not good, right? Like that's, like you said, your main damage for that, but it's going to be the Char going wide.
Banacali, oh dear.
They find him?
Oh, look at him go.
Yes, they do.
Auto those minions. Oh yeah, screw yo minions.
Screw our minions.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the chase now. They got to get out of it. They got to get out of dodge.
And there's Platypus. Sam has enough slows and delays to make it so Platypus can't quite.
Oh, and Draven in the middle. They're just out macroing them. Even though they don't have the Baron, they're just dragging them all around the map. Really good job from Draven to pick that up. Really good job for them to find Ex Machina and take another Baron off the table. So it's only on 70s. It's only on Platypus Killer, who more than likely, according to looking at macro for League of Legends, they should be together at this point in the game. There's no reason for them to be split pushing. So that's like a double up on Baron for your mid jungle, who are already going to be together. So they're not going to be getting the most effective push out of it. So really good job from them. But how do they win this fight in a minute 50 seconds? That's the real question. Because right now, every single time that it's happened, like they've lost a fight, it's Brinticus getting caught out, or it's Makia finding a super good hostile takeover. The second that Brinticus stops getting caught out, they're going to win these fights.
Speaking of caught out, Strika seems a little bit in the gutter here. Banacali is going to eat and dash to the face, and the Call to Forge God is coming on out. Business Time is going to be able to pick up the kill, and Platypus is going to trade one right back. The hostile takeover is going to make Ornn become berserk, not to hit his allies, but to rather slow him down. But here's Brinticus, and Good Faith is out here as well on the sidelines. But Brinticus, he's dead again, man. It keeps happening, the same thing over and over and over again.
Absolutely, and honestly, this could be the in-game angle that they were waiting for, but they have to make a choice now. Either they in the game or they set up for this Elder, reset, spin their gold. I think the call is to end the game.
There's no way they end the game here, but they do get the end.
Absolutely. You could definitely end the game here. They have more than enough momentum. Sure. They have ultimates. Do they have Bear buff that lasts long enough, though? Yeah, it lasts long enough, especially if they get this kill.
Banacali going to be using the Spirit Rush to get out of the way of the final Spark.
Okay, but the issue is...
They're backing up. They're going for the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, but the issue is they used quite a few ultimates. They won't have the calling for it. They will have the Lux ultimate because that thing's busted. They don't have the hostile takeover just yet. Everybody has to reset now to really spin their gold. They have 2,000 gold on the Lucian, 1,000 gold on this Lux. 700 is nothing to scoff at for support. This is gold that they won't be able to spin once this Drake starts and once they actually get into the pit and they get spot out. Very nice ward by Banacali.
Yeah, although, truth be told, doesn't really matter. You already know they're going to be there. So, it's a matter of
but where's Ornn?
Getting position better in this fight. There's a teleport coming out from Business Time. Everyone wants to start. Strike a little bit early there, and the Call to Forge God's coming on out. Look at the sideline. The ADCs are dueling, and Good Faith wins! The final Spark is going to hit 4, and Strika is going to pick up the second kill of the fight. Brinticus is down. Your jungler is out of the duel. And the, what is it? Oh my god, the Renata's revive. I don't know the ability. But Draven is popping off. You suddenly pick up one more item, and there you go. You 5 for 1. What happened?
Draven happened, baby. That's what happened.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
Exactly what happened. Victory Slash going over the wall, trying to go for Good Faith, almost found him, but his mistake was not immediately exhausting him. Good Faith, on the other hand, knew what was happening, knew that he needed to win this fight, saw how crucial it was. So immediately, the second victory slash dashes over that wall, you see the exhaust get dropped on his head. He could not do any more damage to this champion, and Draven was able to barely eke out a victory in this 1v1. Strieka was able to find Brinticus here, but his ultimate went just a little bit too wide on Good Faith. Wasn't able to find him. That angle just wasn't there. So Buddy they didn't kill the Draven quick enough, and he was able to start chunking out Platypus Killer. Threw enough axes, did enough damage that Banacoli was able to kite him out and didn't allow for the bailout to revive him. And instantaneously, the fight was turned exactly like that. And they just won off of that. The Draven was able to get super, super strong in the fight, throw so many axes from such a smart off angle that they just didn't have a chance after that. So now they're gonna have to go for this Baron in a minute versus a team with 4 Elders and a Draven who has a Collector LDR. It doesn't look
And
fun.
Elder.
And Elder. Yeah, it doesn't look fun.
It's just such a gorgeous, beautifully played fight by Good Faith. Just knowing what he had to do, and suddenly you're behind, and now you're equal ahead, even.
Absolutely. So, yeah, they're ahead by 2,000 gold, but the gold has reached the point of the game where gold lead really doesn't matter as much. But still, the fact that they're 2,000 gold ahead, they completely flipped this game on their head, and now they just need to look for that lucky fight at the end of the day. It's really on Makia, it's really on Brinticus, it's really on the back of Good Faith and Victory Slash. You know, it's really on the back of these 4 people who really just need to find the opportunity.
The flash isn't even gonna dodge it. 70 just flashed in a straight line,
Oh,
dodges
no.
out, not quite. The hostile takeover hits 2, but the 2 do not matter. Good Faith picks up another kill. Business time goes in, and so it does ban Akali. Victory Slash is just, his health bar disappears in seconds. The waves are being pushed, the towers are being hit, and Aquamarine is in a sticky situation.
A little bit of a sticky situation. They're gonna go for this tier 4. They find it. They throw out the binding. It hits. Finding more damage. What's the timing on this Elder? It's almost expired. They realize that. They back off. They go for the Baron. They find the picks. Really good stuff from coming out from their squad.
Gorgeous. I absolutely adore the fact that they used the tiny remainder of the Elder Dragon, not wasting it on Baron, knowing that Aquamarine isn't just going to walk up and fight them. They fight them. Golden Ghost initiates. They take the initiative. They go in. They say, hey, we have Elder. We're the big guys. You cannot fight people with Elder Dragon, so they get a free turret. You rotate over, you take Baron once Elder's gone, and boom, maximizing your time. Lovely. Oh my god, I love it.
Absolutely. It really, really good stuff from Golden Ghost. They really just kind of shaped up in this late game. Their early game was looking really bad in both games, but in both games after that, their mid game stalling and then their late game team fighting is just better than the side of Genie Aquamarine, right? Their early game, really, really good, but they just kind of stall in the mid game, and that's where the issues lie. If the second they realize how to break that stall, how to actually push that lead, we're gonna see a potentially good squad. But first, they have to get over this wall that Going Ghost is presenting to them, right? They have to somehow claw this game back from the brink of defeat, because right now it's looking really hard won for this side of Going Ghost.
Good Faith, I was gonna mention it a while ago, but he picked up an early Executioners, and he didn't sell it. Instead, he built it into a Mortal Reminder. I think if he sells that and buys an IE, this is like easiest game of his life.
Yeah.
Because you're already critting for 1,200. Like, look at the minions. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at those humongo numbers, bro.
Yeah. IE here absolutely smacks, and he doesn't need as much anti-heal, but trying to last
There's a
Strieka.
fight going on through. The hostile takeover hits 5! It's massive. But Good Faith didn't have any axes. He's not going to hit anybody with the damage that matters. The team is just going to take the inhib. You're using the Call the Forge God. It hits 2. The rest of the team is going on in. Machina is taking damage. Platypus is taking damage. He's getting just absolutely dumped on. And that's game 2-0 for Going Ghost, defying the odds of zero gravity gaming.
Wow, they made that one a nail biter. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. They said, you know what?
Did Arland did
Really
Arland's internet cut
a
out?
bad early game.
Oh, yeah, can you repeat all that? I think your internet cut
What?
out for a second.
I'm embarrassed. I'm not even gonna try to repeat all of that. They did good. Smile. No, but seriously, they really did good. They stalled out a bad early game. They turned it into a nice, long, drawn out affair, and then they were able to find necessary fights. They saw their win condition. They went for that win condition. They realized that every time Machina was picked, they won the fight. So they kept picking Machina. They realized that every time Brindicus was picked, they would generally lose the fight. So they tried to keep Brindicus not getting picked like that, and then they just let Good Faith farm. That's all he had to do. He just had to farm, 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 and win that single important 1v1 against Victory Slash, and then that's it from the game. That's all she wrote.
That's all you need. Draven, such a champion. You get one kill, you get a tiny, tiny lead, and suddenly this little snowball you've packed with your hands just rolls into like a glacier. You get a mountain, right?
Yeah.
And Good Faith showed that off. He knew what he was doing. He knew when he had to strike and when he had to make it count, and he paid off.
He paid off. Really, really good stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, we're talking about going forward into the grand finals, and we're talking about like strategies that they need to do. Going Ghost really needs to sit down and work on that early game. They really need to talk to each other about the early game, draft, strategies to get around a bad early game. But their stalling was superb. Their ability to draw the game out and really just bounce waves off the opponent, and you know, just really good stuff. But shout out to both teams. Shout out to Genie, Aquamarine. Really good run, guys. But sadly, it is here.
Well, Arlant, I hate to say it, but the time has come. It is
Oh,
time we
I
say
know.
our goodbyes to
Dang,
both each other and to Aquamarine.
dang. Well, there's always the next cast. There's always the next
There is,
game.
there is. It's all right. Well, ladies, men, and monsters, thank you so much for tuning in to Zero Gravity Gaming. My name is Cowboy Casts. I was joined by Arlen, and we hope to see you next time.
This
Cheers.
is